So I confess to being a fan of the Star Wars Visions series. Its stories can fit more or less anywhere within the Star Wars universe, and you don't have to be a canon loyalist to appreciate the great works that these artists put into their episodes. Now, one of my favorite episodes is from Season 1, Episode 7, where Jedi Master Tajin Crosshair and his Padawan discover a lost Sith Lord and have to eliminate him. I felt that this fight could have easily taken place during the Sith Wars of the Legends era, back when there were a lot of Sith Lords running around for a long time. Now, fun fact before I go any further, this is actually a redo of the original video because the point that I make here I found to be more or less inaccurate, and I'll point it out when I get to it. The reason why this fight ranks among my top 3 favorite lightsaber battles is one single scene, where the Jedi Master uses the technique called Tràkata, where he shuts down his lightsaber after a distraction from his Padawan, and then reignites it at point-blank range at the Sith Lord, killing him. Now, a couple of things for the record here, and this is where it gets into why I redid this video. This move has been around for a while in legends, games, books, and so on. In the original video, I said that this was somewhat rare among Jedi and Sith, and its demonstrated use. But, after looking up some videos for this, I found that to be the complete opposite. There is a shit ton of scenes where the move is actually used, and it kind of calls into question, I think, the assumption that many people make that Tràkata is a rare lightsaber technique that is rarely used. For example, you can argue that the move that Kylo Ren uses to kill the Emperor in The Last Jedi, where he ignites the lightsaber that's sitting right next to him, using the Force to thus kill him, is a Tràkata move. It's one of those moves that kids playing Star Wars and lightsaber fights always ask, well, why don't they just do this? Because it seems like common sense, right? You can shut the thing on and off whenever you want. What's the problem? So, the in-universe lore says that the Jedi banned it because of how deceitful it was, which is absolutely true. Tràkata is all about deception and the manipulating of the expectations of your opponent. However, the Sith supposedly hated it because it wasn't honorable somehow. It was cowardly. And honestly, this reason reeked of bullshit. I mean, you're talking about a people who launched intergalactic wars and had zero issues with genocide on the regular, and now they're getting their robes all tied into a twist because of a single lightsaber technique? Seriously? I mean, come on, Exar Kun was notorious for using this. The Jedi reasoning, though, actually made more sense, and that's because the Jedi were just like that, always trying to present this image of being more honorable, traditional, and just more or less knowing better. And it is for that reason why I actually like the Jedi Master using this move on the Sith Lord in this episode, because it showed that it was an act of desperation, not one he wanted to use. His student was nearly dead, and the old psycho Sith Lord was more than holding his own with his own dual short lightsabers, using what looked like to me Form 2, a specifically anti-lightsaber technique. The Jedi needed a break, needed an opening, they needed a win. Or, it wasn't just them that was going to be dead, but anyone else who encountered that old psycho Sith Lord when he escaped the planet on their ship. And in Legends, funny enough, Jedi Knight Karan Horn uses it for more or less the same reason in his duel with a Yuuzhan Vong commander who was bigger and stronger than he was. He needed a win. In real life, you can actually do something similar to this, where you swing the blade at the person you're fighting to engage their blade, only to at the last second change the angle so that they miss, thereby creating an opening and overextending themselves, creating the same result and purpose as you would if it had been an actual lightsaber. Now, Tràkata sounds like some kind of super secret 100% win technique, like how many fans view Form 7, but it's not. It's entirely dependent on timing, and if the person you're fighting knows that your tricks have tricks, then they can be prepared for it, and thus turn it against you, catching you off guard instead, and thereby getting your own self killed. And, as I was saying earlier, the move is demonstrated several times throughout Star Wars media over the last few years, from Clone Wars to, as I said earlier, in the Legends novels, to even Knights of the Old Republic and The Force Unleashed 2 in its trailer. So it's definitely, I think, more common than people give it credit for. And I think the whole reasoning, in my opinion, that people would still consider it quote-unquote rare is because no one talks about it. If you're a Jedi, you don't want to admit that you more or less cheated to win a fight because it got that desperate. Essentially, it is for the Jedi a legit move if your back is against the wall and you need that win. If a lot more is riding on it than just your Jedi pride and tradition, but other lives as well. At that point, it becomes more animalistic, more survivalistic, and you do what you have to win. Still, it was great to see Tràkata so blatantly put on screen, because I think that this episode is the best demonstration of it. That being said, if you have thoughts on this below, go ahead and mention it. Take care of yourselves.